All right, welcome aboard, everybody. Welcome to Hero Shack Chronicles. I am one of two hosts, maybe three if you count our dog, who will drive me crazy this evening. I'm still getting used to this new setup. I have a windscreen up, a new microphone. Okay, let me try to set this up a little bit. We're waiting on Diana. I see she's in the back room. I guess I'll let her in. Let's see.
Hi.
Well,
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay.
You
Good
sound
deal.
fantastic. How do I sound?
Good.
All right. So we both have new mics. Well, new to us, new to her. New headset too. It looks nice. You don't have big blue muffins anymore.
I know. My hair's a little bit of a mess. I forgot to look at myself in the mirror. Oh, well, guys. This is what you got. Long day at work. What can I say?
We'll say hello.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Hero Shack Chronicles.
Yeah.
I still don't have a really cool background.
Well, that's because you don't have a green screen.
I know. Oh, well.
You need to get you one of those.
Mhm.
So, anyways, if you're out there watching live, you're more than welcome to join us. Text us via Facebook, Twitter, or even try to send us a message through here, and we'll get you the link personally. We're not putting it out in public for obvious reasons. It puts our show at risk. And this is a family-friendly show, folks. That's right.
Indeed
We're
it is.
transitioning from Cluster Fudge, which was a very mature book, and we're going into Cyclopean, who was basically the star of Hero Shack, Hero Shack Sandbox and Hero Shack in Search of Heroes. But both those series have been canceled, and now we're going solo with Cyclopean.
Absolutely.
Very excited. In my background, you can see some of the art from the upcoming book that I've been working on. Diana's got a copy. Jace has a copy. These guys are proofreading and editing and giving me suggestions when needed, I guess you could say, huh?
Absolutely.
So what do you think so far?
I think it's going to be a great book, a great story. I'm just pulling up my YouTube stuff so if people come in. I'm very excited about it. I'm excited we're getting back to kind of where we started.
In a way, we are, yeah.
Cyclopean was one of our original, your original characters. So I am kind of excited about getting back to him.
Yeah, me too.
You know, I think we're planning another month or two. Are we putting it up on a crowdfunding? Have we decided yet? Or are we still talking about
We
that?
have not decided how we're actually going to promote and distribute this project.
Right.
I'm leaning towards Kickstarter, but I'm open to online solutions. I want to really make it as widespread as we can. I think the character has huge potential. Dare I say it, but this is going to be my best comic book to date.
I love it.
But I know it's true because every comic book is improved and I still haven't plateaued.
Hey, Terry. I did. I got updated. I upgraded to like my little headphones and I have a microphone now. Well, that's kind of cool, right? Anyway.
Well, it certainly sounds better. The other one was really tinny, honey.
Was it? I couldn't hear it. Like you guys are on the receiving end, so I don't know.
Well, we now know how cheap it is to put up our own green screen with fabric.
Yeah, but I want one of those fancy things that go onto the back of my chair.
You can get that too, and I may still end up getting one. I don't know. I'm playing with the idea because what I'm doing now, I'm actually zooming in on my screen so you can't see the edges anyways.
Right, exactly.
Which isn't what I was doing previously, but it's cool. With the new camera and the sensitivity and all that stuff, it works fine. So what else is happening here?
It's raining out.
Yes, it is.
It's raining and it's Wednesday and I don't have any homework. So that's always a nice thing.
I'm trying to adjust my face because I look
I'm
too
like,
red.
what are you doing? You're like...
It's weird, isn't it?
I never have good lighting. I always either look super like white or ghostly.
I could go black and white. How do I look black and white?
Very nice.
Okay, I'll go black and white for a little bit.
You can do that.
All right, let me come back to the show because I heard someone come in. And
yeah.
I know who it's going to be because I only sent the link out to one person unless you sent it out.
No.
No.
I don't send out links like that.
There we go. I had to find the window. Hey, Terry, welcome.
Hey,
Thank
Terry.
you.
How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Very cool.
Since Diana has no homework, she can now get to work on her book.
Yeah, we're fortunate.
Absolutely.
Of course, I got to get her busy on a few things with the Cyclopean thing.
All right.
Honey, we were talking. I know I said probably not, but we're going to do this about your progress with the new dolls, the new pillows.
You just said.
I know.
Oh my God.
Do you want to share anything about that?
Well, we're talking about it.
We are.
I just said to him too. I said, do we want to bring up? We may do another Cyclopean doll during the show tonight. We were just kind of saying, what are we going to talk about? Obviously we're going to talk about the new book, blah blah blah. He goes, no, I don't think we are. I like what that's floating by, Chris.
What's that? What are you talking about?
Your card that you're floating by.
What card?
But it's very glary.
I don't know what you're talking about.
It's glary.
It's because of the green screen, really. So
That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
I'm slowly running them by, but these are the metal cards they came in. Obviously, there's more than this, but this is the set.
Right.
Hang on, let me see if I can show you guys. Maybe if I turn off the green screen for a minute.
Maybe.
And go a little bit more color.
Terry, have you noticed that he tells me to talk about the doll and then he continues to talk about something totally different?
Yeah.
Hey, you're not supposed to ask for help there. Go ahead and talk about the doll, honey.
No, I just said
No,
we're thinking
no.
about it.
Come on, honey.
Nope.
No.
Go ahead.
No.
It's your idea to bring it
I'm
up,
good.
Chris, so you have to talk about it.
I want to hear more about the doll.
Nope. Doll's not happening now. No, you know what? If you do those cards, you have to angle it differently for other people to see.
Okay, wait a minute. This might help. Can you see just the green screen now?
I can just see lots of green.
Okay, so they're going to be hard to see any way we do it because they're covered.
If you forward them towards your computer. No, I mean bend them forward, like at an angle. No, not too much.
This way it does kind of show off the card.
Yeah.
Well, they're in a plastic case and they're metal, so they're very.
Yeah, so even if we take them out of the case, they're going to shine like this. But yeah, we got a whole set full.
Yeah, we did.
And those are going to the backers who bought that, and yeah, stuff is starting to come in. I'm expecting packages shipping within a week or so.
Yep, the book should be in here within 10 days, and I ordered them 3 days ago.
Woohoo!
So I'm thinking by the end of next week for sure.
Yeah.
That'll be good.
Okay.
That's going to be nice to get that out of the way.
Yep, and I have everything ready. I just got to print the labels for the backers and all that stuff.
Yep.
Get it down to the post office. So
we have our bling thing.
I am thinking May 1st. I would think by the middle of May they'll all be done.
Yeah, I think you're right. And then we can jump into the Cyclopean promotion. Like I said, we've got to determine. I really don't think I want to do Indiegogo again, or at least not immediately.
Yeah.
I'd like to. If we do crowdfunding, I want to go back to Kickstarter. We had a couple of successful ones there too, and I don't mind going back there. The crowd seemed more into it. It was definitely more difficult on Indiegogo to get attention, I think.
Yeah.
And maybe that's just me. Maybe it's just what the first one you do, your favorite, whatever. But so I kind of want to think about that, or we have options. We could go with the Kindle program over at KDP. We could go with Webtoons. We could go with all sorts of stuff.
We have a lot of different things to look at. Now that I've taken a little bit of a break from school, I'll be able to put like a spreadsheet together of all the things that you want to really investigate. Oh dear God, Tiny. She's got to be, somebody must be walking by, but it's nighttime.
It's tiny time.
Mhm.
Folks, just consider this what would we call this, honey?
A musical debut. I don't know. She's screaming like a nut.
It's like a doggy break.
It's awful. It is awful, awful, awful. She screams.
You don't
She
find it
doesn't
to be
just bark.
wonderful?
No, she doesn't. She doesn't just bark like a dog. She screams like a little girl.
Well, she's not screaming right now, though.
No, she's barking, which is just as annoying.
No, the screaming is far worse. I'm sorry.
You think so?
Oh, yeah. When she screams, it sounds like a little kid getting abused.
Wow.
Like neighbors are fixing to call the cops until they figure out it's just our dog.
Yeah, it's really that bad.
Yeah.
It's so sad. It's like if I'm outside doing yard work and stuff, and she starts yelling, barking, then she goes into her scream like a little girl. I have to go running over because my neighbors think I'm murdering her or something like that. Awful.
Yeah, it really is that bad.
Wow.
But it could be worse, you know? She could
Mhm.
bite people, but
could
she
bite
doesn't
people?
bite children. Yeah, but she doesn't bite
not.
anybody.
No. She's not a
That's what
vicious
I'm saying,
dog.
though.
She's just annoying.
Yes, she is annoying.
Yeah,
You know, that's all. It is a good thing. I mean, we always know that she's coming around. You always know that, which is a good thing.
And you always know you're loved because when
And
you
you
come in the
always know
door,
you're
she's
loved. Yeah, she's a very loving girl like that. I
Yep.
like it. You know. But enough about Tiny.
Yes. So other things on the docket. We should talk a little bit about Kid Cyclopean because
yes, you should.
we are trying to find a way to bring a little bit of light to Cyclopean's childhood. And I'm thinking we're going to have possibly a sub feature within the book, you know, a backup story within the first issue of Cyclopean.
Right.
Just to feel it out, you know, just to see if there's even any interest. But I'm interested in it, so I'm going to go to the point of at least making it.
You're interested in it?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm very interested.
I
think
actually
it's
think it's I do think it's a very cool idea. I think that developing Cyclopean a little bit more than what we have in the past. I think he was always our biggest hit. We've talked about this last week. I think that is our that's what do you call it? That's what we may be known for is our Cyclopean Cyclopean character.
Right. I mean,
what's that, Terry?
No, it's a Cyclopean is your signature character because he's all over the place especially when you're streaming.
This is true. And he's been there right from the beginning. And even like our very first Comic-Con, Cyclopean was the most popular character out of all the characters he had.
He just seems to resonate well with people.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a lot to that. I mean, number one, he's a Superman satire, or started as that. And number two, you know, anything that looks odd and strange to people, I think it kind of draws sympathy. And I'm speaking in general terms, but I know that like I was always drawn to the freaks, you know, like my favorite character in the Fantastic Four was the Thing. You know, the Hulk was someone I loved a lot, you know, freaks and stuff. So, I mean, to me, I'm kind of drawn to those characters, you know. It's
hey, Lorenzo,
to try to bring that back into the comics, because I'll tell you one thing I'm getting sick of, and God bless every single one of these guys who are making books, because that's the important part. But it seems like every book lately has to have a lot of TNA, and if you don't know what that means, it means women's part. And it just seems a little bit what's the word I'm looking for? It's overkill. It's like, okay, not every woman in every comic has to be drop dead gorgeous with, you know, Scott Campbell bodies and things like that. We can have like normal stuff. Like one of the things in the comic that I'm working on right now is Dr. Jill is actually not all that attractive. She's a young 20-something. She's slender, not particularly vivacious, although Agent Hayden is kind of vivacious. I'd say that's the woman in the beginning with the red dress. But like Dr. Jill is one of Cyclopean's best friends. By the way, we gave him a name.
Honey, Lorenzo is in the YouTube chat. I don't know if he wants to come into the stream or not. Just letting you know.
I did text him the link on Facebook, I think. Let me see and make sure I did it. Yeah, I did. So
okay. All right. He might be busy, and that's okay. He may be busy, and that's
I know
cool.
you're looking out for your friends.
Well, that's one of the things I do, right?
Yeah, that's awesome. Hey, do you want to see something cool, guys? You may have already seen it.
Okay.
But hang on, I'm going to set it up anyways. Oh, I can do this. Hang on, I'm going to try something because I've never done this before on StreamYard. It says that I can actually share a video from my computer. So let's try this. Ready?
We don't see anything. Oh, there it is. Oh my God, Terry, look at this video he just made. Like, what is wrong with you? I don't even know what to say to him about that. He is like crazy.
It's not crazy. It was fun.
You had a good time, and I love the fact that you had a good time. So
I got to
Lorenzo,
figure out how to shut it off, though. Hang on, because like I said,
okay.
I never did that before. Look, it's frozen. Maybe if I tell it to share a different screen. Hang on. Okay, what did that do? Okay, that brought back that. There we go. Is everybody there?
Yeah. Well, now you have your. Yeah, there you go. So Lorenzo said he wished you would put the StreamYard link in the Twitter group. Whatever that means.
No, I know where he's talking. Tell him, hang on.
You know why? Probably because he doesn't use Facebook much.
Yeah, I don't blame him. All right, hang on, bro. Let's see. I'm looking for my Lorenzo secret message.
Lorenzo's secret message.
There we go. Yeah, in StreamYard Messenger thingy.
Right. Gotcha.
All right. Let me back out of this screen, and then I can go back to my very distracting background. Did you guys like that?
Yes, it was very interesting.
Yeah, but the background, I mean.
Yeah, it was interesting until you cut your head off.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, I did that on purpose. Like, I just wanted to be really strange.
That worked.
No, I'm talking about, hang on, let me show you. I'm talking about that background right there. Look at that.
That is, I know what that is. That's the part of your book. Why are you showing that now?
Because nobody knew what it was. I was just sharing it. And there's no words in it, so they can't read the story. It's just kind of showing the artwork. Yeah, and it's just going to roll and roll and roll.
It looks good.
Hey, I'm having a little fun there. Did you see that?
Uh-huh. So
welcome aboard, Sir Lorenzo.
Howdy.
Howdy.
Hi.
Hey, it's good to be here. It's always good to be streaming with not only you, Chris, and Diana, but also with Terry.
Yeah,
Terry's one of the founding Sleestackians members.
There you go.
And
hey, by the way, I gotta
lost
start waking up
anytime.
on Thursdays. I keep missing your show, man.
It's it's
How's it going? Is it going pretty good?
I'm having a lot of fun with it. We've got a lot of oftentimes it's people from Daniel's Picardo channel.
Yep.
So they're not necessarily as into they don't necessarily know Comicsgate versus Comicsgate adjacent versus anti-Comicsgate or whatever.
Yeah.
Which I don't even know. I think the people who are called anti-Comicsgate really I think the people who are in Comicsgate and they don't deliver their books. for me, that's being really anti-Comicsgate, not somebody who's just kind of adjacent or even a critic.
This week I lost my heart again on Twitter.
Of course you did.
These guys break my heart all the time. The whole thing with the crowd on Twitter is there's so much negativity.
Yeah.
I've just started I just when I see stuff I try not to comment on it. And I stop myself on at least 80% of it now because it's just like, okay, people do what they want. Like when Vicky and I don't know if DA Talks was there or not, hung out, I guess, with EBS. I didn't watch it. I'm like, I don't even want to know what's going on. It's fine. You guys do what you want to do.
I didn't even hear about that. Vicky. I don't know Dean all that well. I mean, consider him a friend, but I don't really know him all that well. Vicky, I've known probably for maybe a couple of years now.
Well, I've always liked Vicky, like when she was on Preston's Writer's Show and stuff. And I like her reporting, even though a lot of people get upset by it. And I will tell you, if we did something wrong, I would not want her on our butts because she has no problem tracking down and finding information and being quite direct.
I like her videos. Her live streams with Dean, I don't quite understand because there's a lot of I don't know if it's a lot of banter or what that would be called. But her, I mean, it's not to say that it's not entertaining. I'm just saying that if I'm just trying to find the facts about something, like her Ribbit coin video, the video about those the frog coins.
Yeah, that one was really good.
Yeah, that was good. The one with about Liam, I mean, it was kind of maybe one could argue maybe it was a little dry because it was very factual, like with the one with Liam. Liam sometimes I wrote a manga or published a manga out of order. I'm sorry.
I think she feels like she has to do it straight cut because, like in the case with Liam, if you're not straightforward and direct with the information, it ends up sounding like you're mocking him because it's just too easy not to,
Yeah. Plus, I'm
not trying to blast on Liam Gray, but he is kind of like Australian's answer to, Ronald McDonald.
I don't know. I just know that I can follow those streams. I mean, I can follow the videos that Vicky makes, but I have a hard time following the live streams because, well, they're going to go off script and they're going to joke around, and that gets a lot of viewers. But versus the other ones that are more like reading something like from Reuters or the Associated Press, where. And I'm not saying those are perfect news sources, but when they're doing their job, it's typically just kind of straight to the point, and such thing happens. Such
press is really funny because I don't trust any of them, and yet I jump at their headlines. So I mean, I know what you're saying. It's like I don't trust CNN, but when they say something controversial, I'm what? What we get?
Oh yeah. But it's not even. You probably know this. It's not even the person writing the article. A lot of times, who's writing the headline.
Yeah.
It's like some editor or something.
So I think I heard Terry trying to say something.
I was commenting on what you said about what's her name. They're turning into Lois Lane all the time.
What's her name? I like that. I don't know which one.
Vicky?
Anyway.
Vicky, yes. Lois Lane.
Does it make Dean Superman?
Does that make Dean what?
No.
Does it make Dean Clark Kent?
Superman. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the relationship thing is there. Whoops.
Whoa, what the heck happened there?
That's how they do that.
Wow, that was
okay. I just got it. I just figured it out. Okay, so like when we're watching the trash compactor show, and like they pop up like the butt video, it's somebody in the room who just goes, and boom, it's on, and then they just boom, it's off.
Are you using OBS?
Yeah. Well, no, I'm using StreamYard, but I could be using OBS. I mean, I'm using OBS for my particular camera. So when you see this, the green screen in the background is all OBS right now.
Seems like, because it seemed like OBS is way better to use than just trying to use just going straight through StreamYard as far as playing videos.
Yeah, and StreamYard is kind of I like it, but it's kind of lackluster. Like the features aren't all that in a bag of chips.
Yeah, it's hard to get a video. Just play a short amount of a video and then stop it. It seems.
Yes.
And no, that is one thing they're really good at with the trash compactor streaming. I don't know if that's Testify or who's the one controlling that.
Well, whoever's the Spanish guy.
Oh, Mr. Yanafui does. Yeah, it does a lot. Makes a lot of the.
Now I'm kind of convinced he's a character. Like he's not who we like. He's not his. Whoever he is, he's pretending to be a Spanish man, and he sings funny songs. You know, I'm doing a horrible accent.
It's impossible for me to tell, but I had the impression that he actually was from like somewhere in like Latin America. But
well, the last stream I saw, he I think Testify said he was from Chile, and I actually work with a guy from Chile, so that's kind of funny.
Did he have that accent?
The guy from Chile, yeah.
Yeah. So
what's up, Six Scale Combat?
Six Scale Combat. Awesome. Oh, he's got the I really enjoy. He's got some fun books.
Who does Six Scale?
Yeah. He's got a gorilla.
Oh, are you the gorilla guy? Shoot.
He's got like yeah. He's got this.
Which one is that? Is that the? Oh, what's the title? He advertised
Brothers.
Huh.
I don't know if he's on volume 3. I think I'm on volume 2.
All right,
maybe not. No, maybe not. I'll have to look and make sure.
We're gonna have to look that up.
It's confusing because what they need is like they need some sort of a poll list for indie comics. Like, I don't know how they do that, but
okay. Wait a minute. Is he? I'm looking up YouTube. Does he have a YouTube channel?
I think it's just called Six Scale Combat.
Oh, cool. All right, hang on. Let me see if I can pull this off without killing myself. Well, I obviously won't kill myself, but I'm throwing it up. Let's see. Is it this one?
Yeah, I think so.
All right, cool. I'll sub.
Hey.
Let's see if I can get rid of that. There we go. I think Diana left us.
No, I'm here.
Hey, I'm already subscribed.
Oh, cool.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah, sometimes I have to unsubscribe and then resubscribe in order to get the notifications.
Oh, Napalm Brothers, yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know everything about you, bro, but I know that you had some sort of scrape and moved away from some people, and I got to say I don't know the story, but I respected you for taking the actions you took, because if you felt like you needed to, that's the way to go. And to be honest, the last year in indie comics, I'm not blaming COVID, but without the conventions, I got to say I prefer the conventions over online marketing.
Well, it's really confusing. People with I don't know, YouTubers tend to get in a lot of arguments, especially when they use Twitter as well.
Yeah. The Twitter thing, it's just like I blow steam off all the time. If you guys ever follow my stream, I apologize because there is some venom. But it's where I vent, like when I see something about Obama or I see something about, woke Hollywood, that's where I go to vent.
Is it kind of like one of those buttons that it's kind of like one of those buttons that they have to change the sidewalk light, but it's going to change anyway.
Yeah, it is. Isn't
or
it?
maybe it does help some, but it's hard to tell what it actually does,
But you just stand there and you press it, and then when it finally works, you're like a stud going across the.
Yeah, I think before it used to just work automatically, and now you have to press the button just to turn the light on. But I don't think.
I think in some places that still happens, but in big cities, yeah, they probably got rid of that and probably make you press.
I don't know. I'm not even in a big city, but there's a button. It's just I don't know if it does anything except for turn the cross light on. I'm not even sure if it does that.
Yeah, the one in Apple get stuck all the time. What's that,
In
bro?
some cases, no, I said in some cases that's all it does is just turn the cross, just turn the signal.
Yeah.
on for the
Okay, so
crosswalk.
I think Terry. So I think so Terry clearly knows what I'm talking about. Yeah, it seems like it just doesn't really do anything other than that.
A
At
dead
least,
button.
at least the one that's at least when I used to go and walk to the library. I'm not on that side of town, so
So 6 scale, I want to comment on that because that's one of the reasons when people were posting. I saw a little bit on Twitter about the EBS thing that Vicky did, and I avoided it totally because I feel the same way. I wish him the best of luck. You know, that's his life, that's his comic, and he does his thing. I do mine.
Yeah.
We're definitely not in the same league, so it's not like we can really threaten each other.
yeah,
But-
I'm not a fan of EVS. I can understand if somebody thinks maybe they can save themselves from a headache by making nice. Maybe not just for their own sake, but maybe mean that EVS doesn't go after their audience or something. I don't know.
Well, there's something else to consider, and I think we should mention this, and I hope it's true, but maybe they just forgave him, and maybe they can be friends with him. I just don't want to get involved with the guy because my interaction with him hasn't been good. It doesn't mean that, like, if he came to me and said, "Yo, bro, whatever, we're cool," I might be cool, but I don't know, so I just don't want to get involved. I'm a lot like Napalm. I'm like, yeah, no.
Yeah, I don't. Those things seem to, like, his alliances seem to be short-lived. But my whole thing is, if people want to buy his Frog books and they realize, well, maybe you'll get them a year or two from now, and if you're willing to wait and deal with that and put up with his drama and stuff, go and buy his books. That's supposed to be consumer rights movement or whatever.
Right.
Okay. So, vote with your wallet but if you don't like him, then vote with your wallet.
Yeah. And for me, it's like, I just want to do my books. I don't need a rub from any superstar like that. Because I want my stuff to, grow on its own. It's come from a point of, 0 to whatever speed we're at now. Honey, what speed are we at now?
What's that?
What speed are we at?
What do you mean speed?
Well, if we start with Heroes Shack Sandbox #1,
Mhm.
and we go all the way up to the Cyclopean book we're working on, what speed are we at?
I don't know, 12, 13 maybe?
Like, if this was, 5 miles an hour, what speed are we at now?
12 or 13 miles per hour? I don't know. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Basically, you guys were
I'm
doing
sorry.
well, and then it didn't seem like you really promoted that last book.
What are you
outside
talking about?
of this
speed?
So, you know what happened with that last book?
Trash
I'll tell you.
Compactor show?
So the last book was a dismal failure in the first half of the raising. We only got $100 funded, and so we gimmick funded it by cutting my hair. That's what I consider.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, other than the Trash Compactor show, it didn't seem like you could have gone. Like, I'm surprised you didn't just ask some of the people in the chat.
Well, the hardest part of this for me is actually that I'm having issues just opening up like that. Like, I'm not comfortable just going out and promoting it because, like, it's weird. Like, how can I put this? I'm more of a creator than I am hi, I'm here on your show to push my book. Like,
and I did a pretty poor job promoting your book, and I'm sorry about that.
No, you didn't. I
don't even know if we went to the Indiegogo campaign.
But do you realize what you were doing? You had back cluster fudge in your name for like freaking months. I was like, gosh, I feel so guilty. I wish I'd take that off. Because after the 30 days, after we hit the backing, that was just about all the promotion I did. I dropped a couple of tweets just to let people know the campaign was coming to an end. But I felt out of sync and I felt uncomfortable after cutting my hair. Like, I didn't know what to say after that. I'm like, okay, that's kind of like saying you don't have faith in your book. But I do have faith in the book. It's just that it was out of sync. It was an experiment for us, and people really didn't catch on. Now, my hope is when they get the books in hand that something will happen and there'll be kind of a surge. We're talking about possibly having an Etsy so that we can have like package deals where we send out multiple books from different titles.
That's
so
you, honey.
What's that?
We haven't decided on that yet.
Yes, but we're going to.
First of all, Chris,
We're
you
going to
really
find
have
a
to open
way.
up to
If
your
it's not, what's that, bro?
You have to open up to your audience.
Yeah, I'm just not doing a good job of it, or at least not under the format that everybody else seems to be comfortable with. Like for me, this is, I don't mind doing like this like an hour a week stuff, but then like literally I draw like 8 hours a night. Like I don't understand. Like how people are doing
okay.
it.
Well, that's yeah.
And like I can't bring myself sometimes. Like I'll watch almost every show you guys do it. You know, between Testified, Vicky, and Slee Stackians, and you know, I the only things I don't watch anymore are like some of the West Coast stuff. Like I haven't watched I Kind of Believe in months because it's just like so late for me.
Well,
I have a hard time coming out and saying like, and your show is the easiest to join, and I have a hard time just going, okay, I'm going to go hang out in Lorenzo's stream for a while.
Yeah, I think Vicky's actually. I think Dean and Vicky are like on like a wacky West Coast time or something because it's so late at night.
Tonight at 11:30, we're going to have a show. What? 11:30?
They've actually been featuring a lot of like. They've been featuring a few different comic book creators, and I think that's great. I just wish it was on a little bit earlier, but I think it's good that they're doing that because the other times that they stream, they'll go and like they'll do a stream and covering drama, and the next day I wake up and it's just like people are just a bunch of people have dropped out of my DM group and they're arguing with each other and people are blocking each other.
Tell him, Diana. Yes, Diana, tell him.
But the thing is, though, you did go on the Trash Compactor show. So if you went, I'm not sure like, if you went on George's show or somebody from the Trash Compactor show. I don't know if you would have gotten any more backers that way because
you know who Critical Blast is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he invited me on his show some time ago. And he had technical difficulties that night, and I ended up hanging out in your show instead. But I think I can go back to him and do a show there.
I don't know. I try to remember. He might actually be affiliated somehow with the Trash Compactor show. I can't remember, but he might have like a different set of people watching the show as well. I don't know.
I'm certain he's Trash Compactor friendly.
Okay. So he might be like on PNG or whatever. I'm not even on there anymore.
Yeah, see, I'm not involved in any of that.
But the thing is, like, George is somebody who, George is an example. Like, he asked me to go if I would let it, go on my show and promote, so he could promote his book. And I, I had him on. I featured his book on there. There was an unfortunate situation where somebody didn't like that and things got kind of interrupted, so I think I had him back. He's been on several times since then.
Now I don't know George particularly well, but I have to say I enjoy his presence. I love his wit at times when he comes in with his stupid jokes that are nothing but puns.
Oh, they're
absolutely love him.
Oh yeah, he has these great dad jokes. Him and Rick Piper from Cross Comics. He's another person who he's got a his Cross Comics. It's a Christian channel, but it's pretty easygoing.
Now, see, that's the one line I'm tiptoeing with. Because I want religion to impact the story of Cyclopean, but I don't want this to become a Christian book per se.
Oh, he does all those dad jokes, and he's got people in the chat like doing all these they're kind of risque. Like people in the chat are like, and at first I thought that like he didn't want that, but he's perfectly fine with people just making these. So he's kind of like, he doesn't use like say the F-bomb on his channel.
No.
But on the other hand, he's had Risey Lee on there before, and I don't know if you know Risey, but he's
Risey is definitely a rated R individual.
Yeah, I think maybe, so
because Risey will come in drunk, and I don't even think he's really aware when he starts.
I think Risey tries to be respectful with Rick's show. I'm not saying anything bad about Risey.
he changed certain keywords to make himself a little bit more palatable, if I remember correctly. Like he used to drop the N word. He changed that word, so he had a substitute word. And I don't even think he was racist. Some people just get caught into just cussing to cuss.
I'm not even sure if they use that, if they even really use that, if that word has a. Things are kind of different. It's down under.
Yeah, I don't know that it has the same meaning down there. Like,
yeah, I don't know if they use that against the Aboriginal people or not.
Well, like I drop the W word all the time over here, and in Britain, I understand it's quite an offensive word.
The W word.
Yeah, the W word. You don't know it?
Are you talking about like?
So okay, I'll tell you. But if you're in Britain, mute your audio right now. But I use the wanker word.
Oh, yeah, they said that on The Simpsons, and I guess people over in the UK got either in the UK or maybe over in like New Zealand. Or
if you drop that in the chat with a bunch of them, oh my gosh, it's like you went in and used, like you were racist or something. Wanker, wanker. My God, don't use that. Oh boy, I just used it.
Oh, then the Aussies use the C word, and I'm not even going to say it.
Oh yeah,
they'll use that, but they'll call guys that word, and it'll be like a funny kind of
making me silly for that word. My wife thinks about it every time I've dropped that word in front of her.
Oh, yes.
And here the Aussies are like using it like it's the word "the." It's in between every other word.
And maybe some of the people in New Zealand as well. I don't know because there's those two islands. There's
I'm not
a couple
cultured
islands
enough
in
to know
New
the
Zealand.
difference. Like if you don't live in America, I figure you probably live in either England, China, or Russia. And if you live in another country, I just assign you to one of those.
I don't know with YouTube though, because with YouTube it's like there's some people from like say Central Europe watching what's there's I don't know with this particular comic scene, whatever we're calling it. I don't like this particular branch of the indie comic scene.
Yeah, you know what?
There are quite a bit of people like of I think from maybe there's a few like Latin American people.
Well, there's a lot of Latin American people in indie comics.
Like a lot of the artists who are in like CG or CG adjacent.
Well, I know. Remember Pyramid Nights by Gary Henderson?
Yeah.
He hires. He's got like 3 different artists. I mean, between penciling, inking, and coloring, that he's been hiring to do his latest books, and they're fantastic. I mean, I wouldn't be totally against going that route, but I always want to be making a book too. So.
Yeah,
I know. You. I don't know. I mean, something happened with you and Skinny and all that. But I was just going to mention that his artist is from Mexico.
Well, let's just say I wish Skinny well. And I last time I spoke with him, they were very unkind words. I don't have a lot of respect for him anymore, and that's all there is to it. He's a fine independent comic book maker, and we just don't gel well over a certain issue, and it's not worth getting into. And
I just mentioned that he's got like quite an interesting. His artist has quite a unique style, I'd say, and his artist is, I think, from Mexico.
You're right. I think he is. Yes,
gentlemen.
Yes.
I have timed you for a long time. We have talked about everything under the sun, every stream possible. Don't hide your face from me.
No, I'm looking at the clock. Go ahead.
Yes. And you have not said one thing. I'm confused. Is this Hero Shack Chronicles to talk about Hero Shack Chronicles?
I did say Kids Cyclopean twice.
No, or is it Hero Shack Chronicles to dissect everything that's going on wrong in the Twitter / other stream shows?
Well,
I'm really confused.
We were actually talking about how diverse this scene was.
Yeah, but help us correct it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so what's going on? You got like a book or something?
Well, we're working on Cyclopean. That's what's in my.
Well, what's that? That's that pyramid. All-seeing eye guy.
Origin story, I think, an origin story. Cyclopean. And He made that annoying video tonight while I was cooking dinner.
Yes, I did.
And
So
so
you're asking, is he connected to the Egyptian god Ra?
You see the one who's got the Eye of Horus or whatever at the top, you know, like the
Well,
Eye of Superman?
Ra's interesting. He was the one-eyed god. Not much is known about him that I understand. Like they have their own mythology about him, but he was basically always depicted as a big old eye, no body or anything. And there may be a connection to Cyclopean and Ra.
Yeah, I thought maybe that was Horus, but I don't know.
Well, it may even be the same character. You know how they adopt different, you know, like the Greeks and the Romans had the same gods, but they changed their names. I have no idea. It could be Horus, but the one-eyed thing I think has something to do with Ra. That's why I went with that. Even then, though, his origin is kind of dangling and up in the air. By the way, what you're looking at in the background there is not final art. It will grow and adapt. Because the thing we're doing differently, or I guess I could say I'm doing differently this time, is every page has been basically gone over for at least a week as I go back and touch it, and sometimes replace panels that I just don't feel cut it, or you know I need something more dynamic. And that's been fun because I never did that before. And my editor doesn't really. She'll correct some things, but like she'll let a lot of stuff go that I don't want to let go. And since
he's very challenging to work with.
I am nuts.
So what's this all about then? Because that's all very vague. Is there anything you can say about the story?
Yeah,
well,
Chris,
the story is his origin basically, and it's woven in a way that you're getting what the public's being told about him when he is finally announced to the public.
Mhm.
For instance, okay, see in the background there, well, you can't really see it, it's gone now.
Okay.
But the story is going to be that he crash landed in the White Mountains, thus creating the destruction of the Old Man in the Mountain, which actually is real local history. The Old Man in the Mountain is a face that was carved out of natural formations of stone on the side of a cliff.
Oh, is that the one that's become eroded?
It not only became eroded, it fell apart. In
yeah, okay. We talked about that before.
Yeah, it's actually in the story. And the day that it happens, the night that it happens, because it's comics, Cyclopean's craft crashing in the White Mountains in the vicinity of it is what made it fall. But that's also in a federal state park type deal up there. So they were able to cover it up. And the idea is they've raised a one-eyed extraterrestrial, yes, an alien, in a military small town base. And there are other unusual characters in this town. He attends school with some freaky people. In fact, in the background right now,
wait a second, he attends school?
Oh yes, watch. Okay, so right there, there was an accident that killed his adopted parents. There's a funeral, but
it's a whole story. It's a whole origin story,
right,
of Cyclopean from.
Did he arrive as a child like Superman?
The story that we're being told as the reader sounds very much like Superman. A craft crashed, babies raised. The difference is the government's involved in superhuman characters at this point. Like you see the race happening behind me right now. The guy he's racing is a speedster called Flicker. Now he's the fastest man known in the world. Like there may be faster, but they don't know about it. But he only runs about 80 miles an hour. It's not like he's the Flash or Quicksilver. Okay. And nevertheless, if we knew someone who ran 80 miles an hour, that would be pretty freaking stunning. Yeah. So Cyclopean actually has to outrace him in training, and that's what we were witnessing there in the artwork. But you'll find in my universe for Cyclopean, there are a lot of superhumans, but they're not like superhuman like we think. You know, like everybody in Marvel and DC who seems to get powers automatically seems to be able to lift cars and bounce bullets off their chest. And
so this guy is like so that one character, the speed character, is like slightly faster than a cheetah. Like
but he's like he's 3 to 4 times faster than most humans, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So he's still superhuman, but
Yeah.
he's not going to spin the earth so fast the other way that he can turn back time.
Well, it's like, yeah, it's a kind of a Mary Sue at that point.
Yeah, and with Cyclopean, he's definitely got some power thresholds. Some of the unique things about him, for instance, is if he sees something coming, a bullet's been shot at him, somebody's going to hit him with a baseball bat or punch him, his muscles are so strong that they tighten up and he's nearly invincible. But if you come at him from behind and he doesn't know you're there and he can't hear because he's deaf and you hit him, he's far less indestructible. He's still tougher than the average human, but like a bullet might hurt him from behind. Whereas if he knows somebody's trying to shoot him and he can see line of sight, he'll tense up and the muscles automatically will deflect it.
So that's his strength.
Well, that's part of his strength. I mean, he's growing. When we pick up the story, he's about 18 years old, just graduated from high school. And what we're looking at there is actually a job interview. And the guy in the green sweatshirt is who actually gets the job. And the job is going to be to mentor and raise Cyclopean the rest of the way, kind of be an Alfred to their Bruce. And that's actually one of the lines in the book.
So this all sounds pretty cool. Of course, like when you get further along, you probably would want to come up with an elevator pitch, like a.
Well, yeah, this is absolutely not the elevator pitch. This is just
it's as long as you know that. I mean, obviously, this is something that this is the first time I'm hearing about it. So it's obviously makes sense that you're not going to have your pitch down, and that's fine. Well, because I'm interested in. I mean, the artwork looks interesting, and that's
the thing about the artwork. And I'll be honest, that is my first love in comics. Like, I love making up stories and scripting, but I love making art the most. Now, I don't look at my art the way I used to. I used to look at it and compare it, say, to John Byrne and whatever. But in the last month or so, I've started to just say, do what you do and enjoy it. Just do what you do and enjoy it. So I look at it, and sometimes things aren't quite the way I like them. Like every artist has something they don't like. I would love to nail down my anatomy better, things like that. But overall, it's a cartoon, it's a comic, and it should have some distortion to reality. It should be fun. It should be line art.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to feel that and enjoy that. And I don't know if it's ever going to be popular. I don't really care. It's just where we're headed. And I'm just blessed to have Diana.
You love it. And then that's the point. Like, I just finished up a writing course. And one of the things that my professor stressed is, like, you got to do what you love, no matter what, whether you guys write a novel or anything that becomes, what sells well, it doesn't matter as long as you love it. So he tried to impress upon us young writers that just to do what you love. Like, I will put something out under the Hero Shack Press. I will definitely put a couple of books. I have some in the works, but I'm not expecting really much of anything. If a couple people buy it, that's awesome. I want people to like my stories. I want my stories to have a simple yet general kind of message that everybody can understand, that it really applies to the general population. I don't know if I'll be successful in that, but that's my goal. I mean, and I think, Chris, you're kind of the same way. You tease about it wanting to be your
since it's a very small crowd, let me ask you guys, would I be better served when I speak about my work and my art and my comics just going, I'm the best and they're the best and you guys will love them? Like, is that the way people really want things sold? Like,
I don't know. It works for EVS, I guess.
True. I mean, he's certainly not. What's that, Terry?
Sometimes they do.
And sometimes I wonder, like, I think maybe it's like wrestling. So, like, I should come on to a stream and be like, yo, what's up, everybody? Go get my book.
That would be cheesy if you tried to do that. I think EVS is really, really good at that kind of PG Barnum.
You can do it.
Well, and EVS, though, also has the Clinton voice. You know what that is, right? Where they get really low.
Yeah.
So here's my question
to
you guys. Are you trying to sell a personality, or are you trying to sell your creation, your
Well,
book.
that's the conflict in the current online deal, because you can make, and I'm going to say this straight up, you can make the best book ever and never
Right.
get any attention because you didn't sell any personality.
Just the thing is that you might not want to slam on yourself too much when promoting your books.
Yeah,
You know, there would be
absolutely
too.
not,
You know, I mean, you could use like maybe some self-deprecating humor, but you don't want to like seem too unsure of yourself. At the same time, it wouldn't work for you to just try to be like real egotistical, and you know, I think it probably come across.
Well, it wouldn't
real
make any
cheesy
sense.
and phony. Yeah, just
would be a false,
just continue to make the type of comic books that if you make comic books you believe in, I think it comes across to the audience. It seems like there was something really exciting when you started with Last of the Reapers that I didn't quite get off of your past books. You know,
well, everything's been building. This Cyclopean one is going to be the hottest yet, because really with the Hero Shack Chronicle, or with the Hero Shack titles that we did, I was kind of feeling it out, you know, like, will Cyclopean be accepted? Will people like him? And he was blended in with a bunch of what I would call, you know, just off the cuff heroes that I threw into the story, so they'd have
it was really confusing as far as I'm concerned. Though I think
it was,
campaign did pretty
absolutely.
well, though. I mean, I think your campaign before Last of the Reapers, I mean, the one right before that seemed to do pretty well. But I just know I didn't back it because I didn't understand.
Yeah,
I got kind of confused about stuff.
And that's fine, you know. All the campaigns we've done, I think, you know, we've done 3 or 4, honey.
This will be the third one we just did.
Cluster Fudge is the 3rd.
Yep. No,
So
wait. We did Last of the Reapers, Cluster Fudge, and Hero Shack 2.
Yes. Okay. So yes,
3.
we did do this. This is, yeah. So there's 3.
But Hero Shack 2, is that the one that was before Last of the Reapers?
Yeah.
Yes,
because that all kind of threw me off.
Yeah,
Right.
you didn't really get into that one. I remember you were like, I don't really understand what
well,
it's
and there
about.
was also like some perks that I got kind of confused with too.
It's confusing, right?
Yeah,
I missed out on something. I didn't realize I'd missed out on something, and it was like,
yeah, we were taking advice from somebody that, well, we've moved on and we have new advice.
yeah. It's just that advice was probably really good for some people. It just didn't work for that particular.
Well,
I don't know. You got quite a few backers, didn't you?
We've never failed, and we've always gotten enough so that it's been, you know, what I would call a success. But like this year in particular, in this, you know, the next upcoming 4 or 5 books I do, I'm going to focus on building the character and focus on growing that. And I mean, I'm doing that because I see other examples in indie comics where it's absolutely working. Isn't it Carmen America, I believe, is like on issue 3, and they're doing phenomenal. Now, I'm not saying, hey, watch Cyclopean become the next Carmen America. What I am saying is there's a pattern of success there, and we would all be silly not to see how they've built that character up. When I first saw Carmen America, and you probably know this, Terry, because you got something to say, but when I first saw her, I thought she was just a throwaway anime character.
That was the whole point. She was supposed to be a parody of Carol Danvers. That was the whole point. That was the whole point that Tim had behind her. He was making fun of what Marvel Comics was doing to Carol Danvers.
And look at what he's got now. It's amazing.
He's pretty. He's been pretty. He was one. I think he was OGCG, and I don't know what he identifies as now. I don't really care. You know, what label he uses.
That's all. He identifies as a creator now, and that's it.
Yeah, he's. But as far as like, he was one of the first indie creators that I had heard about. I mean, and we went. I mean, because I got into comic books with the whole Comicsgate. I mean, it was into like Mad Magazine, and then I was in high school or junior high or something. But it was really like CG that got me interested in comics. And I first started reading stuff from like Marvel and DC, and it's like, yeah, I don't know about some of this stuff. But then I saw there were some really cool indie comics coming out. And I started backing a bunch of crowdfunded campaigns, and And Tim was one of the people I backed early on. I think it was Trump Space Force.
Well, what's the name of the one? I'm gonna take a guess, and Terry, you may know it, and I don't know if you will, Lorenzo. I think it's called the Crusaders, or no, the
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
no, the Colossians, no, the Colossals, the Colossals.
Oh, the Colossals, huh?
Yeah, from the guy who does Zerk.
Oh yeah, I don't know much about that.
I think it's called.
I don't know much about that campaign. There's just so many campaigns.
Yeah, he's starting to build up on it. He's got a mailing list out. And yeah, I think that one's going to be really good. I like the way it's looking.
I get kind of confused because there's K-Log and then there's Zerk. I think it's K-Log's channel, but Zerk's on there more often. I think they're two different guys. At least there's two different puppets on screen at the same time.
Yeah, but I mean, who even knows? You know, like
I don't know.
The thing with these guys is a lot of them just run characters through their streams, and that's cool. But like, it's sometimes hard to follow. Like, because Cider, I guess, is no, I don't want to dox Zerk. But
I don't know. There's all these different. There's all these different guys, and I have a hard time.
Hey, honey, do you have your shirt handy?
No, it's being washed.
Ah, okay.
I wore it yard working this weekend.
You wore it yard working?
I did. I wore it yard working. It's an oversized shirt. It was comfortable. Listen, I'm just going to jump in because I'm going to head out in a minute. Lorenzo, I can understand why you got confused about the Hero Shack books. So I just went through and looked all the ones we originally came out with. Hero Shack Sandbox. That was his very first. And in that series, the Sandbox series, he wrote 4 books. Then he decided to take all those 4 books and put it into one big Sandbox compilation. So you could buy one book that had all 4 books in it. So really? Yes. So that's 5 books right there. Then he decided to do Hero Shack in Search of Heroes, and he did 3 books. He did book 1, book 2A and 2, which were just variant covers, and then book 3. Then he decided to try something really different, and he did The Last of the Reapers, which he also did an art book with that.
Yeah, that caught my attention because that was I think because it was kind of a whole new thing, and
yes, it was a very new style.
I mean, the other ones I wanted to, the other ones were all like campaign. I wanted it back, but I was trying to figure out how I can get the most books possible. So I didn't miss out on it. I got kind of really anxious about the whole thing.
Right, exactly. And he also did something, Lorenzo. He also did a book that you might be interested in. It's called the 21st Century Comic Book Quickie. He did this.
We talked about that before.
He got so upset about a bunch of guys that he was talking to.
Yes.
And he did this. Look at how big this book is. He wrote this book because he was just flabbergasted with what was going on.
Wow, that's massive.
And I think that if you were going to buy a book, I don't even know how much it is on Amazon right now.
Even for sale anymore. This was my WC Most Wanted. Doug TeNapel. You can see Preston Poulter's in there.
It is still there. It's a $10. Listen, it's a $10 book, and for people who know, people who know about these guys that he kind of just put this together, you guys would find it hysterical. My family,
John Del Rose.
Yeah, how was it that you guys didn't do better selling that? Because that's all these different people that are well known within CG and CG adjacency.
So I think you guys will see that coming because I'm thinking of doing something kind of funny with that one. Then we went on to the Cluster Fudge. So he's got, and that's the latest one. So we have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10, 15 books he's done in the last 3 years. He's actually produced.
That comes out reversed, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. So doing all that doesn't mean anything. But what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that he works really hard at his comics. And so the problem has always been is marketing. And he is like his worst enemy. What's that, Terry?
I was telling Chris to turn off the green screen.
I know.
Yeah, you know what? I can't. I tried. It's
all. It's like I don't.
It's all screwed up right now because of my OBS.
Yeah,
I'm green screen adjacent.
I think green screen is something.
don't know.
So
The whole
this
CG
was
adjacent
my
thing started off as a joke, by the way. I
This
mean,
was the
and then some
library
people started using the term, but
so this was the library that I had when this book was published,
right.
but there's a few more added to it now.
So the point I was trying to say is that we have a nice library. We have, I think, 5 or 6 Comic Cons we're already booked for this summer.
I am excited about that.
How long have you been making comic books now?
3 years.
You're number 3. Yeah.
Yep.
And on number 15 of book?
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
So he is an incredibly fast worker. His art
But I
is,
am slowing down with Cyclopean.
Chris, stop talking for a moment.
No, because you can't say that.
I can't say that you can't stop talking.
No, you can't say that I'm a very fast artist because I'm slowing down.
No, I wasn't going to say you have been. But
Yes, I
that's
have.
not the
You're
point. The point is that he's very driven to get his stories out there.
Yeah.
That's all I was going to say. But the marketing has always been lacking. So I'm glad that we are going back on the circuit with the Comic Cons because that's where we excel.
Well, see, in all fairness, though, the marketing in the first year was, hi,
Comic Cons.
I'm just making comics for the first time. If you were interested in backing one, you can buy one. That would be great. If not, that's okay too. We can just talk.
I sent him on many walks, guys. He didn't say that too often.
Right. But you're number 2.
He's a terrible, terrible person. Like when it comes
to you're number 2, it got better, but then we had COVID hit. And then this year, I've been able to just learn a lot watching people through Twitter and determining like, okay, this is not a strategy I want to use. That one is. This is not,
Huh. What about didn't you do quite well with that, Hero Shack number 50 billion or whatever campaign that you had last time?
We've never done more than $667. We did a little more.
Yeah, but it was without you shaving your head or anything.
Before that, we had done 570 something.
Yeah, we've always done well.
How did that do well without you shaving your head? What was the difference? How?
Because of the name Cluster Fudge, and we didn't market it, and we went to Indiegogo. We didn't have a following at Indiegogo.
Well, and I have to admit, part of the problem was I got stubborn. I wanted to stay on Kickstarter, and my wife wanted to spread a little, and I was like, absolutely, whatever you want to do. But then when we went to Indiegogo, I kind of was like, okay, paddle the boat. And I was looking at her, and she was looking at me, and it was just a miscommunication. Well, unfortunately, though, when we found out from my son that the name was like not going over well with people the way we thought it would.
They thought it was a joke book. A lot of people thought that it was like going to be a comedy book, and then when they looked at it, the name didn't match the content.
In their mind,
yeah, it wasn't that it was necessarily.
And I
think bad name, but maybe it was a bad name for that particular content.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I think it could work if people get it and enjoy it. Now, if they get it and they don't enjoy it, then yeah, it's a flop.
Right.
But there's a lot more to it. It's more about
the name doesn't do it justice.
Right, because it's more about the artwork and the different things inside the artwork, the different layers.
It's a good story. That's the thing. Like most of his story, like I think I like all his stories, but sometimes the way they're put together, it's just a little on the it's not very smooth.
So have you fulfilled those books yet? Because I can't tell if I got it or not.
So we've fulfilled everything but Cluster Fudge, which is going to be fulfilled probably by the middle of May. Everything's ordered and coming in.
Yeah.
But yeah, everything else we've fulfilled.
We have every campaign that we've done. Have been successful.
Yeah, they all funded and got fulfilled. That was great.
But with that being said, we don't sit there and go like we want $5,000. We're like 500.
Well,
I
said it at 500, thinking if we get $5,000, amen, thank you. But I'm more interested. What I've tried to do is simulate at least a bi-monthly schedule of putting out books.
What on earth is bi-monthly? Is that
every 2 months?
2 months or
every 2 months?
Okay, it's not twice a month.
So Lorenzo, to answer your question about the funding part of it, for Cluster Fudge, it was $711 $711. For Hero Shack 2, it was $621, and for this last one was about $600, $620 or $630. So we
No,
are
remember we got,
meeting.
yeah, maybe you're right.
No, I'm looking at the numbers.
Okay, yeah.
We every campaign that we've done, we have funded a little bit more than what we asked for. And I just want to let you guys know that everything is complete within a month and a half. Like, in other words,
my only point was that his head's already been shaved, so that gimmick's not necessarily going to work in the future. So
No, I've got to wait.
I was just curious how
no, I know
without the gimmick, how he's
and it was a gimmick. You're absolutely, and
there's nothing wrong with having a good gimmick.
No, it was fun in the moment, but looking back, I got to tell you, I regret that we had to go that route. That's not really what we want to do.
And see, I got to be honest, I don't regret it only because I will forever be able to say and know that if I have a book out there, and
you'll do anything.
I had 9 backers at that point for like $100-something.
Yep.
And I was like, I will do everything I can to make sure this campaign fulfills. So those 9 people who were that interested will get their book.
Right.
I know that many of the people who bought our book for the haircut probably won't even read it.
Right.
But that doesn't matter. The 9 who were really interested, they're getting their goods.
Yeah, I was just curious what would happen, but I didn't realize that. So you switched from Kickstarter to Indiegogo, and that.
Well, the good news is
what was the big difference on your end, Chris? Was it just not being used to the platform?
For me, because I did the Kickstarter and the Indiegogo, I kind of helped him set up and whatever.
Oh, so I don't know why Chris wasn't.
So Indiegogo, there were a few things. The first thing was we selected 60 days.
That was my part. I did that.
Right. And that absolutely drove me nuts because
I like a long time, guys.
Promotion. I prefer it.
It's a long time.
Yeah, because that was the thing that you didn't know about, is that apparently if you just go for 30, once you extend it, if you do end up extending it, I guess it gives you some sort of kind of a second boost or something on there as far as promotion or something.
And see that's another thing.
It might have been Testify mentioned that. I don't know.
Yeah, we're looking at that though, because I'm not interested in extending. Like,
right.
I don't want a campaign to last 6 months to a year,
right?
So I can get a few $1,000s, or even so I could get 6 figures. It's not worth it to me to do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't imagine taking 2 years to literally just draw the book, let alone get it colored and lettered.
Mm-hmm.
It's mind blowing to me. And God bless those people who take that long. But no, not in.
Well, a lot of those people are like full-time YouTubers, and that's what they do for a living, I guess. I think that's how EVS, what EVS mainly does nowadays, and some other people who are associated with them.
But that's a danger. Like, I have a full-time job. That's where my money comes from too. I do something too. But when you're a creator and you're sitting home and you're promoting on YouTube and Twitter and Instagram, it all kind of, from what I've seen, can become such a sideline that it takes over. Kind of like Doug to Naples started making so much money doing streams that Earthworm and Bigfoot Bill aren't on the back burner, but they're kind of on the side burner. You know what I'm saying? And he's talked about that, how like, I'm going to go where the bread is buttered right now, And I'm like, well, I don't blame you.
And the thing with YouTube is people are so kind of, I don't want to insult the audience, but the way that YouTube, I think it might be how the YouTube algorithm works. You got to constantly change things, the thing is, okay, there was the thing where PewDiePie was singled out with a smear campaign. And that was like the first apocalypse, I think. And then there's been similar ones where basically the corporate, like the traditional legacy media, the traditional newspapers and TV channels, they don't like YouTube, and they've been smearing YouTubers.
Yep.
And so then that made it so it's really hard to make any money off of YouTube with advertisements. So people are doing these streams with super chats, and they have to go and get some sort of gimmick, and sometimes, and I'm not saying with Dutch Naples, but with some of these guys, it's like drama. And
Well, Tenepo did it all with right wing politics. I mean, he's kind of
he actually went and did it with commentary. Some of these other guys, you know,
and he was pretty open about it when it was all going down. Like, he just basically said, "Hey, there's a gold mine right here. I'm going to collect."
I mean, whatever was popular at the time, whether it be
absolutely, I don't blame him, Diana. I don't blame him at all. I would do the same thing if my audience suddenly started making me, $50,000 a day because I'm talking about knitting. Boy, I'm going to talk about a lot of knitting.
The problem is what happens when people get tired of hearing about whatever that topic is, or the YouTube changes its algorithm. It can destroy a channel. Versus, like, if you've got, like, say, something art related, you might have a hard time. Always, it's harder to grow a channel, but on the other hand, it endures
a little
more.
better.
I think exactly. I mean, at least that's what I think.
Doug Naples is, you got to admit, he's blessed, because when this right wing channel thing finally dies on him, he's still got Earthworm Jim and Bigfoot, Buffalo Bill thing there, the Bigfoot Bill. He's still got two great IPs.
Oh,
and a bunch of people who will back him for six figures. So,
I don't know if is his channel even around, or did they suspend it? I don't know what happened to.
Well, they suspended his Exile channel, but he started another one. But I don't watch that content, so it's just because I was watching it for comics. I don't really care about what's going on. Well, I mean, I can follow politics. My channel also.
All right, guys, I'm heading out. Look I went past my 9 o'clock time. It's 9:18, so I'm tired. I want to go relax. I got a long day tomorrow. Good night, you guys. It's been awesome as usual. Keep talking though. Chris is here.
No, I've got to go too, because I got to go to work in the morning, honey.
Oh yeah.
No, it's not funny.
Sorry. I know, but I feel bad because the minute I leave, you leave. And
well, you're my barometer. If you're still up, I'm still up.
Oh my God. All right, you guys have an awesome week. Thank you for joining. And we will catch up with you next week.
Oh yeah, and thanks for keeping us on track, because it's good to hear about that new campaign. That's going to be it's going to be awesome. Exciting. It is going to be good. So all right, guys, have a great week, and I'll catch up with you later. Bye-bye.
Bye, baby. All right, so I guess I'm going to go in a few minutes too, but tomorrow night at 8
Eastern, 5 Pacific.
Are you on YouTube when that happens?
I'm on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. But I don't know if Facebook and Twitch has any viewers,
right?
Because I don't really see anybody in the chat from there. It's kind of odd.
It is odd. We don't get Facebook chats in here either when we're.
There could be people in the chat. I might not even see them in StreamYard.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I didn't realize that. Oh my gosh, I felt bad. Maybe I should just stream to
YouTube and leave it at that.
That's what Diana wants us to start doing.
Yeah.
Don't you get quite a few people in the Facebook chat or not?
We do and we don't. Like with God Chat, we seem to do better on Facebook, but with Comic Chat, we seem to do better in YouTube.
I guess it'd be really difficult to be trying to read the messages if they're not showing up in StreamYard, though. That's
right. But we could do like God Chat directly in a Facebook stream, and then just do the comic book on YouTube. But
I don't even know I barely even log into Facebook. Somebody was going around for a while reporting, like digging up things that I had like shared to Facebook years ago.
Right.
And reporting them. It's like unless maybe I had reposted them or something. And forgotten about it.
As you may know, I am really good friends with Gary Henderson, so he's basically the biggest reason I tune into Facebook.
Okay.
People, but he updates his Pyramid Nights there. There's a guy named Joe who does artwork there, who I just love interacting with. The guy is fantastic as far as personalities. And there's you guys too, but you don't really use it. I see you guys on Twitter. But other than that, like my sister's on there. Like it's otherwise pretty quiet. That's why I don't I don't tend to go off on Facebook because too many, I guess, normal people are on there.
So this is interesting. Six Scale Combat had said Comic Cons are fun. I prefer real people to lunatics on Twitter.
Yeah.
I didn't even know if he lived in the U.S. or it was, or maybe they got those overseas. I guess they have them in Japan.
I could be wrong.
Huh?
I thought he was in the U.S., but I could be wrong.
I thought that's why other people were running it. I mean, I thought maybe that's why he was publishing through other companies, but I don't know. I'm not gonna dox whether he's overseas or local. I don't even know.
No, you're right. That might be true. I didn't consider that.
I don't know. It does. So I think Japan has some sort of conventions that because I know Mike Miller is big in Japan.
Is he really?
I don't know. People, I think that's like a play on words or something. Well, he is Japanese.
It's a type of story he writes too.
Isn't he part like Japanese, Ainu, and European ancestry?
I don't know.
I thought he was part DC.
Part DC, like a XDC,
Yeah.
I think.
No, like his past when he was drawing. I guess he drew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he went over to Japan before, and he either I think he live streamed from like a cafe over there with some cousins. That was pretty cool to see. But I think he said before he's actually part Ainu, which is like the I don't know if I pronounced that right. The native, indigenous Japanese people.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure either. I know.
Or like an ethnic group. Because I don't even know, because maybe the other Japanese people are also indigenous. I don't know. But the Ainu are like the minority group there.
Oh, guys. Diana's coming up the stairs. I got to go.
Well, take care.
All right.
All right. I'll catch you tomorrow night. Don't let me. Well, I'm just going to pray, God, let me get to Lorenzo's show.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
See y'all there.
Take care.
All right. Good night, guys.